Right. Hopefully this is going to work. Today I'm going to be talking about Talon Picks, a review on those, and the Tonebridge Guitar Effects app from Ultimate Guitar. And hopefully everything is going to work just fine on this stream today. So let me check to make sure that the sound is at least working right. Everything is going to work. Yes, good. Everything is working okay. So today, it's been a while since I've streamed live, and hopefully this won't have any glitches or anything like that. I wanted to talk to you about those two things, but also wanted to show you these new headphones that I got in from Amazon the other day. I'm going to leave a link to that, and some of the stuff I talk about today, leave links to that in the description area. And hopefully this won't be as blurry as usual. I've been messing with a few settings in OBS, and I decided to try bicubic scaling. That's what I've been trying on that. But these really sound awesome, and I will leave a link to these actual headphones that I'm using. They are closed back, noise cancellation, all this good stuff. Very clear and very clear. A lot of clarity. These are called, let's see here. Turn my speaker down so I don't accidentally hear something coming out of them. One Audio, that's what they're called. ODIO. And I'll give you a link to those at the bottom as well. But they're twistable. That way you can, listen, monitor one ear if you want to. And they're collapsible. They come in a little storage bag, a little tote bag. They got two different cords. They got a short one, which is the one I'm using. It's black. And it is a 3.5 millimeter. It plugs into one side here. The other one is a longer one, and it is an actual 1/4 jack. It's a bigger jack here, so you can plug it into that. But still, the actual audio is, the other end of it is a 3.5 millimeter as well. So you'll need some kind of adapter jack to plug it into like an audio interface like I have myself, which I use the Behringer Euphoria UMC 204 HD audio interface. It's 2 channels, and it has all kinds of stuff on it. But that's not why I'm here. I'm just laying back. You can see I've got my Grinch sleep pants on. Love those. My waging weapons of our warfare Christian version of the Call of Duty. But we're talking about today Talon Picks and the Tonebridge guitar app. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and get on into that. Now, Talon Picks, I actually saw this on a YouTuber, his channel, and his name is Ben Higgins, and he is an alternate picking master. I mean, he's really awesome. And I got to noticing this weird looking pick he has, and got to look at that, and I did some research, and he is endorsed by, or at least an artist of, Talon Guitar Picks. And I need to hold up the one that's not opened already. So they come in various kind of gauges and sizes. This one is the heavy gauge. I guess I can hold this one up, try not to drop them. The orange, as you see here, are the medium gauge. And I've also got a pack of white, and they're light gauge. Now, I decided to start with medium, and they were kind enough to send me some samples to try out. And I've had them for a few weeks, and I didn't want to do a review on them immediately because I wanted to try them out. And so I'm actually going to try out one of the heavies today. I've been looking forward to trying a heavy one. I've been used to playing the John Petrucci Jazz 3 signature pick here. So that's what I've been usually playing. And while I like it a lot better than regular jazz, it's still not big enough for my taste. I like a bigger pick. I like more surface area to hold on to. And it's a good practice pick. Don't get me wrong, because it forces you to kind of choke up on your picking and be more accurate. But it doesn't have the best grip, and I still found myself wanting to experiment with other picks. I've also used V-Picks. This is a huge V-Picks. This is the V-Pick Tradition. And try to get that out of the way where you can see it. It is fairly thick. It's probably about 3 millimeters thick. Something like that. It's pretty thick, 3 or 4. And his take on picks is that the thicker the pick, the more you use it. By the end of the week, you're going to be a master at using your regular pick by the time you use his V-Picks. But we're talking about Talon Guitar Picks today. And like I said, I saw Ben Higgins use these picks, and I found out what they were. And basically, the selling point of these is, you can see it on their website. And let's go ahead and go to the screen view so I can show you what's going on here with that. All right, so let's see. It is this one right here. By the way, I had this pulled up first because I wanted to let you guys know that my third book in the Smart Focus series is now finally available on ebook via Kindle or the Kindle app. It's Kindle exclusive. It's in the KDP Kindle Select program, so it is exclusive to Kindle. I've got the whole series now finally completed. Okay, so that's what you can find here. If you go to ericbeatty.com/author, you can pick that up, or you can just look for Smart Focus 5 Final Tips, blah, blah, blah. Smart Focus Book 3, and you can also find it. I'll give you some links below as well. But for right now, I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. This is about goal setting and things like that. So I encourage you to read the first 2 books. This book is more of if you need more encouragement and if you want to complete the series and finish your journey strong, then pick this book up. Okay, so let's go to the Talon's Guitar Picks website, Talon Guitar Picks. All right, now let's see, where was I at? You scroll down, it's got a little video here that you can play. Okay, and it kind of describes what the whole deal is with the picks. And I don't know if he's got more colors or what, because these must have been early prototypes, because he's got a different color here than what they have now. You might be able to order custom ones, I'm not sure. You can probably see the side of the menu here that you can look at. But if you go on down, you scroll down, it shows you the features. Okay, you got a Talon Edge, 4 unique models with increasingly added or angled jazz style tips for the ultimate string response and ideal contact. So jazz style, in other words, like the Jazz 3 that Dunlop is popular for, and that so many people use. John Petrucci uses it, obviously. Eric Johnson uses it. Marco Savola uses it. Everybody that's a fast picker, a lot, for the most part, use jazz type picks. And this is a jazz type pick, but it's got enough surface area that I can grab it. That's one thing I really like about it. Unleash tone and technique. The dynamic design sculpts your delivery to unlock new realms of tone and sharpen technique. Now that's very important, sharpening your technique. You want to be able to, this is a good pick for sharpening your technique. Let me just say that right now. While this is not the pick I'll probably choose as my day-to-day, everyday pick, it is a good training pick. Now, you see up here it comes in 4 unique models. I just held those up just a few minutes ago. Let me switch views here. Let me go back to that. Let me go back to OBS so that I can switch views. Okay, good. That worked. I don't know if it would or not. If we go back to this, okay, there's 4 models here. And each one increases the, I want to say, angle or the grade of the slope that the pick has, okay? Now, that's what it meant by 4 unique models. They all feel the same in the sense that they have the kind of the same design. But if we go back to what I was just at a minute ago for the screenshot, okay, good. Looks like all these are working without me having to be in OBS. I like that. So back to the screen here. You can see that here's the slope, okay? The small one, the T1, there are 4 designs, T1, T2, T3, T4. T1 is a kind of a very small slot slope. T2 is a bigger slope, T3 is a huger slope, and T4 is a whopping slope. The pick, when you're holding it straight, is actually angled backwards. I'll get onto the reason of this here in just a moment. Okay, this says rotate to flat pick. In other words, this right here size, or the side, is actual flat pick. When you rotate the pick, give you an example of that. If you rotate the pick like this, I can hold it and rotate it, and then I have a flat pick. Okay, then I can rotate it back for the speed bevel, if you want to call it, the speed pick. All right, so comfort bred in function, craft molded with a natural thumb contour and raised grips, eliminate pick slipping and repositioning. Okay, so down here we have the tone. As you are down here on the T1 side, you have a warmer tone with a more of a loose feel, okay? As you move up, you have a brighter tone with a tighter feel. All right, now, a lot of this is what they claim. At a personal experience, I'll share with you what I've found myself as we go on. So you have a Talon pick, okay? The main side, there's the thumb contour there that you can see. This little thumb contour thing. All right, the flat pick, you rotate it. And then the flat pick reversed. Well, that's kind of interesting. Ooh, that's very interesting. I never thought of that. So you can flip it around and use the flat pick. So I can, let's see, how easy is that? That's kind of difficult, actually. That's not very easy. All right, so I'll get onto some of that here in just a minute. The patented design. Now, this is what we're going to get into as far as the reason behind the angling, okay? Now, I'm not going to read all this. You can read all this yourself if you want to. Go to TalonGuitarPicks.com, check them out. But the thing that I noticed that really explained what is going on with this angle here is this last, I think it's this last paragraph. Let me find it here. The unique design of the Talon delivers 4 dynamic models. Increasingly angled picking tip extended from the flowing thumb contour. Let's see here. Each progressive angle of the Talon tip disperses more direct contact energy or bite upon the string, which limits the amount of skip across the string. Okay, is it the second one here? Let me just find what I'm looking for here, because I know it's the word angle. Okay. Ah, there it is. Oh, it's the second paragraph. All right, let's check this out. As the guitar pick neck becomes angled, okay, as we take the neck and we angle it, and the neck becomes more of a like 45-degree angle, 30-something degree angle, whatever. And I can demonstrate that here in a minute. As it becomes angled, a flat pick tends to strike across the strings and less upon them. Okay? It is in this effect that layers of amazing tones and textures are hidden. So what he's saying is, if the pick is straight, the guitar neck is straight, and you angle the guitar neck, the pick now is at an angle to the strings, so that it's going to kind of bounce across them rather than the angle being perpendicular to the string and getting more attack or bite out of the string. Okay, now that's the theory. So if we have a guitar string, once again, if we have a guitar string, here's the string, my pick, if it's a regular flat pick, is straight against that string. As that is angled, let me look at the video here. It doesn't look like it's changing to what it's supposed to be. Is it going to? I'm not sure. Let me just... Okay, good. Man, this is hard to do. So as it strikes the string, okay, it looks at the string here. As it's against the string, right? All right, but as the guitar is angled, now it's going across the string. It's at an angle to the string, okay? Now that's what his theory is on that. So let's go back to it. Let's continue here. He says that when you're striking across the string and you don't have the whole pick on the string, laying on the string, you're losing tone. You're losing attack. Okay, that's what he's saying. Where the intricate characteristics of guitar, strings, pickups, amp, and pedals are not fully revealed. On the same course, picking technique can be diminished when the string contact is poor or hand contortion becomes necessary, creating tension or wasted energy. In other words, you got to move your hand around with the strings, and it creates tension or wasted energy. As guitar angles and positioning should be dictated by pure feel and comfort, we can now utilize a non-slip guitar pick design that channels our own unique delivery. Welcome to Talon. So that's his claim to fame in this product, is that you don't have to adjust your pick when you adjust your guitar. You just find the right one, levels 1 through 4 here, based upon what angle the string is when you're playing it. So if I come out of this view here and go back into full screen mode, And I'll take my guitar and demonstrate this. It's going to be kind of weird with a chord here. Probably should use the red one, but that's all right. See what we can come with here. I typically play this guitar in this angle. I don't hardly ever play it across my knee. It's just too hard to get to the high notes. I typically like it better right here. Okay, it just feels better to me. I can get these notes. I don't have to twist my hand too much. So we start with level 1. Okay, we kind of play around with it, see what it feels like. And so the goal is that wherever your hand is, now notice my hand, if I take my finger or my fingers and point them out, my hand is straight. Okay, and that it's already in an angle to the strings. It's not like this. So instead of me having to twist the pick to make more contact and twist my whole hand and have tension there, the pick is directed at a backwards angle for me. So what I do from there is I need to find a pick 1 through 4 that's going to give me a straight perpendicular angle to that. That's the theory, okay? So let me take out the 4th one. And what I did basically on this pack, I cut around the top edge, and then I can just open that up and pull the pick out, okay? So that's what I'm going to do is open all 4 of these. I'm just going to open the 4th one here, pull it out. It's the biggest degree of an angle. So as you can see on that pick, kind of hard to do this with a light. There's a huge bevel sloping down. That angle is really huge. Okay, so as I'm playing, now I can still stay without having to come way back. I can still stay, the pick can stay on the strings. Okay. I'm still finding myself having to pull back just a little bit to get that flatness, but it's not as extreme as what I would have to. Here's the flat pick, okay? Flat pick is at an angle now. I would have to pull back quite a bit, but with the Talon, it does that for me. I can stay kind of where I need to be. Okay, and use that for technique. Now on into, that's the theory of all this. Now on into the application. Let's just get on into that part of it. We have the problem with using a pick in this way for me is that if it's flat against the string, okay, there's more tension. I mean, there's more resistance. I'm hitting the pick on the string, therefore it's getting caught on the string and it doesn't glide across the strings, which is my preference, okay? So the whole theory behind the Talon pick, according to that website, if I'm interpreting it right, is that they want the pick, they say that the pick needs to be flat on the string, perpendicular to it, not at an angle. You can get the best of both worlds here. If you don't like it completely flat, choose something like a T2 out of that pack of 4. There's T1, T2, and onward. Choose a T2, and it's kind of the best of both worlds. It gives you a little bit of flat if you want it, but you can still, if you want, tilt your thumb for it and get a little bit of an angle. And I like an angle. If you research Paul Gilbert, if you look at some of his instructional videos and things like that, he is a big fan of tilting your thumb forward to get an angle. And in my opinion, and Paul Gilbert's opinion, and many other people's opinions, that angle allows you to glide across the strings. Yes, maybe you don't have the attack like you would if it was flat on there. But you have more speed because there's less resistance. There's less of the pick on the string. Therefore, you have less resistance and you're not going to be trying to force it. It's a lot easier. Okay, now that's an angle. That's with a flat pick side. Now going back, and I like that. That's very easy to switch from a flat pick to the speed if you need it. And with a T2 or the T1, it's going to give you enough to where you can give your own angle and maybe get a little bit of attack if you need that. Okay, it's a very interesting concept. And I agree that this is a good training pick. You can go from 1 all the way to 4 and then kind of find what you like based on your angle. So if I was playing a different angle rather than this, like if I was down here on my knee, I might want to use the T1 because the angle wouldn't be as extreme. Okay, so in my opinion, if I use a T2 somewhere in the middle ground, I won't have to be flip-flopping back and forth with a lot of different picks. So T2 or T1 probably is, for me, the best feeling pick based on the angle that I use, and I like to have a little bit of angle in play in my own style. So I can't really decide if I like T1 or T2 better. But I mean, I've got these. If I find that I'm having encountering a little bit more resistance with the T2 that I like, then I can always go down a level. And if I don't like that at all, just go to the flat pick side or just find another pick, different. Like I said, this is more of a training pick to me. So by the time you master these picks and the offset resistance that it offers you, when you go to a regular pick and your regular pick that you like instead, it'll be a lot easier because there's no weird, modifications to it. It's just a straight pick, and you'll have that control and that speed on a flat pick because you can counter that with a Talon pick. Okay, now as far as all the claims he had earlier, let's go over each one of these claims in my opinion, what I've encountered personally. Okay, so we're going to go back to our screen here, come back up here. The Talon Edge, 4 unique models. It's 1 through 4. We see that down here, with increasingly angled jazz style tips for ultimate string response and ideal contact. I'll buy that. You can choose the contact that you want based on the angle of the neck that you're playing. Okay, so I mean, I'm down with that. That's fine. Unleash tone and technique. The dynamic design sculpts your delivery to unlock new realms of tone and sharpen technique. I don't know about unlocking new realms of tone in the sense that it changes the angle of the pick depending on your angle of your neck. You can do that just by bending your thumb. Here's a flat pick side. If I just bend my thumb a little bit and then go flat, I mean, you can change the tone on your own just with a little bit of, forward movement of your thumb. But his whole idea on that was, like we seen down here in the second paragraph, that picking technique can be diminished when string contact is poor or hand contortion becomes necessary. That's not a big hand contortion for me to bend my thumb forward. Okay, not a real big deal for me. A lot of people do that, and your thumb is, if you notice, when you're playing, the more advanced you get and the more tight and accurate you get and precise, your thumb's doing all kinds of things without you realizing it, for the most part. Unless you're this stiff kind of player like Michelangelo Badio, who just anchors himself and he's at the same angle all the time, then you're going to be moving around a lot. You watch most people that don't anchor on the fretboard, on the guitar when they're playing, on their picking hand, and that thumb moves without them realizing it for the most part. Okay? So, let's see here. So, as far as sharpening technique, I totally agree, because you're modifying the pick in a certain way that it's not something you're used to. Similar to the V pick that is really thick, it's something different, and it's modified in a way that I'm not used to. It's different than my normal pick or what I would normally use. Therefore, when you go back to your regular pick, say I'm done training, and this week I've worked on my alternate picking skills, so I can toss the Talon pick aside for right now, go back to my regular pick. Yeah, I'm feeling it now. Later on, when I want to brush up my technique and sharpen it even more, and let's say I want to increase my speed, whip out the Talon pick, start practicing with it, the little scales and things like that, and we're ready to go to our regular pick again. So I agree, this is good for sharpening technique. I would see this as a training tool rather than a pick I would use all the time. All right, now let's look at the next two talking points here. At any moment, rotate 90 degrees into the flat pick position for that open strumming tone and feel. Okay, so here's the deal with that. Now, rotating the flat pick to the flat pick position is not as easy as they make it look in the video that was on that page. For one thing, let's say you got the pick in your hand. You're going to come around with your ring finger to hit this point, that little point, okay? And sometimes you can do that. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's not. Now, I'll agree in a sense. Before we get to that, let me go back to the other thing real quick. Craft molded with a natural thumb contour and raised grips eliminate pick slipping and repositioning. Okay, so let's talk about that in the previous talking point. Rotating to a flat pick. For one thing, yes, I can rotate fairly easy to that. Okay, but with this thumb contour, especially the higher grade you get into like number 4 and all that, that thumb contour really gets in the way more than it doesn't. Okay, because it's causing your thumb to stop at a certain point, and it's hindered there, and so you're actually grabbing less surface area on the pick. So yes, I can strum now, but look at the back of this pick. It's barely in my fingers. Okay, that thumb contour stops me from going across and getting more of the pick in my fingers. The higher that is, the worse it feels on your thumb, because you're having to overlap your thumb onto something, and then you feel this big gap in between the tip of the pick and the rest of it. Okay, so it does not feel natural whatsoever. Yes, that thumb contour is there. I can stop my thumb there, but I'm holding very little of the pick, and it feels like it's going to flop out. Now, eventually you can get used to just about anything. Okay, so for me getting used to that, it would just take a little while to do it. The lower the angle, the less of a degree that it's there, the easier it will be to get used to it. Okay, so yes, you can switch to it. It's kind of awkward, especially if you need more surface area. You kind of got to fit your thumb over that little point. But going the other way is super easy. You just, and you're there. Okay, so back to this. It's out of my hand here. It's trying to come out of my hand when I flip it to the flat pick side. I mean, that is not enough pick to hold. And if I move up on the contour, it's still not enough pick to hold. I mean, I'm just barely there. But just take this middle finger and just twist it in your back in the position. Now, I find usually when I pick this pick up, it takes me a minute to get the feel the way I need to feel my hands to feel normal. As far as the grip, the texture grip, it's the logo, and it's on the front, it's the pick that you're using. So this is T2, you probably can't see that. And on the back, their logo says Talon. Okay, you probably can't see that either because this light's a little bit too much. But there's Talon on one side, and the logo, with a number and an actual talon of like a raptor claw or something on the front. I found that this doesn't help me with grip at all. It slides around to me because it's taking this emboss or deboss or whatever you call it, when it's raised, it's taking the grip, it's taking my finger and lifting it up so that there's air in between my finger and the pick. Okay, you would think that my thumbs and the fingerprints would sink in to those little gaps. Not going to happen unless you're pinching too hard to even get a good pick sound and get good pick control and things like that. So I find that it causes it to slip more because it's not really a grip. Maybe if the pick had like a grip coating on the surface area or something like that, it would be a lot better. But with this name and everything, it just, to me, I find it slides around more than it stays in place. So that's one thing that I have against that is that it's kind of awkward to get used to in the first place. And there's so many other things that it's not going to feel like an actual pick to me because of that. But I've been using these exclusively for about 3 weeks and getting used to them. And I'm finding I'm liking them as a practice tool. I still haven't decided which pick I'm going to stick with. Right now, it looks like it's just going to be the Dunlop Jazz. I've got a whole slew of picks. On Twitch, you've probably never seen my pick collection. Let me put this down for a second, and I'll show it to you. Really, there's no reason for me to go out and buy more picks because I've got tons, and so I'll have to take these off for a second and show you what they look like. Okay, so this is my actual pick collection. Okay, this is a tackle box. Sorry, that's kind of loud probably. Those are all my picks. Okay, so I've got Dunlops to choose from. I've got Ultex, Tortex. I've got thumb picks. I even got a Steve Vai pick for when I went to the last concert that was here in Tennessee. And me and my brother was able to snatch one of those. This one came right off his guitar. That was awesome. It's amazing. I don't use that one. I kind of want to keep that one. I've got Deandria picks. I've got Dava picks. The silicone-looking things. I don't really care for those too much because they're too flexible. I've got Dragon's Heart guitar picks that I used for a long time, and I really like those, but they're still too small for me to really get much out of them. I use them more for bluegrass and more for acoustic than I do electric. But, you know, I've also got another V-pick here that I forgot I had. It's a Tradition Light. It's not a sharp one. I like a sharper point. I've got some of the other Dragon's Heart guitar picks. Kind of the same principle. There's a different edge, different point on each side. And as you twist it around, it becomes another point. But I find it's either too long or there's not enough of a pick sticking out. Yes, I've got more surface area here. I like that. I may end up going back to those. I'm not sure exactly. But they're different kind of shapes that I've got. I've got the Jazz 3, and I've got the regular old Dunlop Tortex. Matter of fact, I think I'll leave that one out. That Dragon's Heart Wigan. It's a Wigan style, or not a Wigan, but what do they call that? I forget what they call that. It's not a Dragon Scale. It's the other one. I may leave that out and maybe test that out here a little bit. I've even got, some of those Gator Grip picks. Let's test out a Dava here too. Why not? See what I can come up with there. It's a good chance to, try some new picks out. Or not new to me, they're older. But, I mean, there's all kinds here. I've got stubbies. I've got all kinds of different other picks. Even some picks that are more gimmicks than they are picks, to be honest with you. But as far as a practice tool, definitely recommend Talon Guitar Picks. Now, I'm going to open up. I forgot to put that back over there. Get kind of a little scatterbrained now. I'm going to open up the heavy pack of Talon. I'm going to open up the T2 because that's what I'm used to playing. And what I'm going to do is just going to, like I said, I'm going to carve around the top and pull that out. So I'll go all the way to the pick tip and then just carve around the top, trying not to actually touch the pick and arm the pick. And opens right up. Pick pops out. I'm ready to try it out. Now, one thing I do like about these medium gauge is that they've got a little bit of a distinct kind of a thwacky sound to them on the actual string. So let me go back to my guitar here. And I haven't got any tones loaded on this guitar yet, so that's why you're hearing it all clean and weird sounding. Okay, this is just straight guitar sound. All right, so a little thwacky sound. I kind of like that. Paul Gilbert, what he advocates is he calls it a swish sound, like kind of a brushing things. And when you angle your pick down, it's got that little scratchy sound. And Paul Gilbert is a master at that sound, for his picking. So let's look at and see what it already has it. Now, this has a little bit more, it feels like, of a grip to it. Than the medium, the orange. Now, it also said, if you remember on that little page, it said reverse flat pick. So if I'm playing this, what I would have to do to get that reverse flat pick, yeah, it's there in the back of your finger is actually touching that little ridge on the contour there, that thumb contour. But that to me feels like it's more locked in. Than the other way with the thumb contour getting in my way of the thumb. My thumb actually has to slide a little bit past the contour and lay a little bit on the Talon pick edge before I'm comfortable with what it's going to feel like. And you can't really get that fast. I have to twist and then adjust. And I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? So this one has a little bit less thwacky sound. Let's go back to that orange. Heavy. I think I like the way the heavies feel a little bit better. Now the white ones look completely different. They almost look like mother of pearl. They're kind of a milky texture. I haven't even opened that pack yet. Probably, I don't know if I will or not because I don't use light picks. But this red one does feel a little bit better, and that's the heavier gauge. It's a heavy pack. I experiment with that. Now I got all these other picks to experiment with. So let's go back real quick to the website page, because I want to see if there's anything else that I've left out. I think that's pretty much it on the Talon Guitar Pick. Of course, my computer's starting to freeze up. Hopefully, it's not hurting the stream. I bet it is. Sorry if there's a delay. It looks like on the video that I'm getting quite a bit of delay here. I'm losing 242.4% frames a second. Hopefully that's not having a lot to do with that scale down thing. All right, let's go back to the... Now, wait a second. Okay, I can't click that. It's just, I don't think. Yeah, it's just changed color. I mean, I don't think I can click that on. Oh, no, it's loading something. Let's see what it says here. I'm going to take a swig of my crayon cherry juice here. I'm not seeing a new link pop up, so it may just be reloading the main page there. Now, that does have more of a glassy sound. That's the medium, and here's the heavy. Snap, 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 snap. So it's got a little bit more of a pick tone in that sound. It's probably hard to hear, but you can definitely hear it if you was to try it out yourself. Okay, so the flat pick reversed. It's just taking me to the store here. I don't think that's an option. It'd be interesting to see if it was. Of course, everything has to run slow now. Sorry about this, guys. I apologize. Just bear with me here. That's an upstroke. That's what's giving me that weird flicky sound. Let's see. Not sure what is going on with this. Okay, I'm just going to ignore that and go back to the main Raptor Pack bundle and all this stuff it's showing me. I'm just going to go back to the main side, I guess. Yeah. So it's this little claw thing, that's one of the emblems that's on the front of the pick. That's the white color that I was telling you about. I don't know what these other ones are. They've got some gold looking ones and some purple one in the video. It looks kind of purplish. So let me continue going on here. Patented design, general information. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the site. All right, so that's Talon Guitar Picks. Now let's talk a bit about the next topic, the Tonebridge guitar app, guitar effects app. This is from Ultimate Guitar. Now I happened upon this while looking for some tabs or chord sheets for one of my students, and he's a little kid. He may be, I don't know, 7, 8, something like that, maybe even 9, and he was into Fall Out Boy. He was wanting to learn Fall Out Boy. Okay, so I go to the website ultimateguitar.com and I look for Centuries by Fall Out Boy, and that's what he's interested in. Okay, he wants to learn this. So I'm just kind of casually looking through this tab here, and all of a sudden I notice something pops up right about here underneath the guitar tuner area. Okay, now if you scroll down, there's more stuff. It may have been under this, but I think it was underneath the guitar tuner area, the top part. Okay, that's all the pro stuff, the pro tools that you got to pay for and all this stuff. And it said something about it had this little new tag, see the little red new tag. It had that, and it said something. It was another button, and it said something along the lines of play sound just like this song, or play this song in the original effects, or something like that. I don't think it actually mentioned Tonebridge. But what I did is I clicked on it, and it took me to a place you could download it from the app, and I think it's Mac only. So I went. What you can do is you can look at, and I'll probably just leave a link to this below as well. You can look up Tonebridge, and it will say Tonebridge Guitar Effects on the App Store. And you click that, and what it will do is it will pull up this one, this link here. And I may have to reload it. Let me stop that from loading. I don't need that to load. Let's go back here. Okay. And it says Tonebridge Guitar Effects. Okay, and this is what it looks like. That's what the icon looks like. If you can look it down here, it says Tonebridge Guitar Effects. Same deal. All right, 82 4.5-star ratings. And I decided I've got to try this out. I've got several different ones. I've got my Digitech RP355, which can plug right into the computer, and I can edit the effects with that. But PV Revolver 4, I highly recommend. I've got a video here on Twitch about that and on my YouTube page. And really good tones here from Peavey. And then I have the VIP is basically editing the Viper VIP amp, which I also have videos about here. How you can edit it from the software using this. And basically, there's nothing new that you can add to it. It's just tweaking the amp from your computer versus from the actual amplifier. Let's say you got your amplifier across the room or something. You don't want to have to go over there and tweak settings. You can do it on your computer. But the Tonebridge Guitar Effects, it looks like this. And if you go to that website, okay, so you click on here, you go here, you click on Ultimate Guitar, it will bring up another page that you can Let me just go ahead and do that. It'll bring up another page where you can download the app and look for it and everything on the Mac store. All right, so as it's loading there, I'm going to check, make sure I'm on the right screen. Okay, good. Excuse me. I'll wait for this to load a little bit. Or a lot of bit. I do apologize for the long problem here, the long stream and everything. Okay, so Ultimate Guitar view in iTunes. Okay, you can look at iTunes previews. Here's all the apps that they've got. Tabs and chords, Tab Pro, multi-track guitar, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if this one's free or not. They recommend you both use them because they're obviously from the same company, so they sync together well. They work, they play together nicely. Now notice this is for iPhone, this is for iPad, so you'll want to download the Mac one if you want to be able to play this from your Mac. Now, from your Mac, you're going to need an audio interface of some kind to plug into so that your computer can read your audio. Like I said, I've got a Behringer Euphoria UMC 204 HD. Really good, cheap, and it serves the function that I need to do. It was only like $75. And if you buy Behringer products and Mackie products, as far as I know, still, it probably says it's on their product page or whatever, you can get, I think it's T7 version of Traction for free. It's a free upgrade. T6 is free. T7 is the next level up from that. And then up from that is Waveform. So you're only one thing away from getting Waveform. That's how I ended up getting Waveform very cheap because of that upgrade. I'd already upgraded to T7 within the time frame as they were about to switch over to Waveform. So I got Waveform for a huge discount because of that. So you'll download the Mac app if you're on the Mac. If you're on the iPhone or the iPad, you can download this. Now what you're going to need for the iPhone and the iPad, you're going to need another type of audio interface. And that's what I've got this pulled up for. And I'll also link to this if I can remember all these links to put in. I'm just going to leave these tabs open so I can remember. GarageBand for Mac. Now this would be for any, in this case it's not going to be GarageBand. It's going to be the Ultimate Guitar app, Tonebridge. But this is basically a way to get your DAW or whatever to recognize your guitar and your audio that's going into the computer. Now I mentioned T6, T7, that's a DAW. GarageBand is a DAW, a digital audio workstation. I'm not sure if I did any. I think I actually did maybe some Traction and Waveform videos here on Twitch. If not, there are some on my YouTube. If you look for Waveform or Traction, TRACKTION, you can definitely find those. But I've got this loaded because what I'm looking for is how to connect electric guitar to your Mac. All right. So basically, it's telling you how to do this. You connect an audio interface to your computer's USB. All these other ports or whatever, and then you connect the guitar to the audio interface. You connect the electric guitar to a channel on the audio interface using the adapter cable, a standard 1/4-inch tip sleeve, 1/4-inch connector, or if your computer or iPhone or whatever has a audio input, you connect your guitar using some kind of 3mm adapter, 3.5mm adapter, to plug it into your computer's audio input. Now, for an iPhone, you're going to need some kind of guitar interface for this to work. And I'll leave a link below where you can find some. I've got some pulled up here on Amazon. I'll probably just leave you a link to this so it'll be a lot easier to go to. And I just did a search for a guitar interface adapter. And the most popular one you're going to find is something called iRig. This is the iRig 2. I'm not paying $39 so I can play this on my iPhone or my iPad. I don't have an iPad. I got an iPhone, but it's an iPhone 4S. It's old. I want to play this stuff on my computer or an app. I don't fool with smartphones and stuff. You might want to. I don't know. These right here are cheaper. I would go for the rating, like this Guitar Effects interface adapter that is 11, 5, 4.5 star ratings. I would probably consider buying that one. Although this is probably not going to work on your Mac. You're going to need some kind of audio interface for your Mac most likely. But these are just fine to connect the guitar to, and then you connect your headphones to the other side, and then that connects to your iPhone. And then with this Tonebridge, it acts as something that can read the audio coming through it. Okay, so all that being said, all that technical stuff being said and out of the way, let's open up the app and see what it has to offer. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to switch back, not switch back, but I'm going to leave. Let's see here. I'll just go back to this because it's kind of. I'll just do that. Let's open up the Tonebridge app, and you'll be able to hear all the stuff that's going on. And it looks like, hopefully, I'm not sure, but it says my stream is excellent. I'm getting 730 kilobyte upload, and that's what I've got, and I can't really go any higher right now. Hopefully it's catching up with my audio very quickly, my video. Let me just do another sound check to make sure that everything is sounding good, because when I'm looking at this, there's a big delay in between what I'm saying and what's happening. I'm talking like maybe a 2-minute delay. So let me unmute this and see if I'm hearing myself clearly. Page where you can download the app and look for. Okay, so it's all the way back to what I was talking about downloading the app. So there's quite a bit of a lag. So here we see the Tonebridge app loading up.